few tries to get here, but we are here. So, welcome to our energetic weather report. Not sorry, that's my membership reading. Welcome to our energy report that we do every week. And my name is Monica, and this is
No, your
Monica.
name is Tara, and my name is Monica.
It's Tara, and this is Monica. Holy shit, maybe we should start over. Welcome to live. Wow.
That's
Okay.
what life is all about. And you know what? This is fun. I think Tara. Well, just hello everyone. We've been trying to do this. It's very exciting. I'll talk to Tara after how she figured it out. We don't need to talk about the technical stuff, but yes, we've been doing on Instagram. Generally our weekly energy updates. And it started off readings of these I Ching oracle cards, which is kind of like a horoscope, astrology, horoscope, Chinese practice, Tao practice. And it kind of gives, you can just give you an overview of the energy. And I was following Bobby Klein many, many years ago, and I got into him, following him every week. And I used to look forward to his readings. And then Tara and I became friends, and we just started saying, "Oh, what do you do?" and "What I do?" and "Oh, I'm into cards, and I'm into this, and all this spiritual practice, and tarot reading, and everything." And then next thing you know, like I said, "Well, I like to follow this guy Bobby Klein," so we started following him, and God bless him. He's in spirit. Well, we're all in spirit, but he's he passed on. He passed on, and we said, well, why don't we just continue doing this? Like, why don't we just, we actually, well, before we went on live, we we were just doing it, you and I, just to
Yeah.
honor him and his and what he was doing. And then we said, hey, why don't we just do it on Instagram? It'll be fun. And then we got that going. And then the little monster of like, oh, can we do this? Oh, well, first of all, to start getting on YouTube, that's a whole different thing, right? To get that going. So here we are, and it's super exciting.
So now that I know my name, can't believe I did that. So, anyways, hi Abigail. So yeah, so Monica and I originally we enjoyed doing it every Sunday. It was kind of our way to get to kind of navigate to see what we needed to be aware of for the week. It was also our way to connect and also to bring more awareness of like how we show up every day. And then we decided that's how we decided, like, hey, let's try this on Instagram. And we would go live on Instagram because we felt that other people would feel the same way as us, as to trying to navigate how to bring your best foot forward, to how to bring, how for you to show up for you, be your authentic self. And it's just progressed from there. And so for myself, I've been doing it's been about 25 years of holistic healing and modalities. And just, I keep on wanting to learn because I love learning. I just adore learning, and I always feel that there's always something to explore and how to bring my best foot forward. And Monica and I actually have, because of our friendship, I find that we bring out the best in each other, and we're able to gently highlight when we're not being in our best interest and we're being our own self-sabotage, because I find that a lot of people can have self-sabotaging traits, and it doesn't bring out their best qualities. So we try and
Yeah, well, you and I have done some major inner work. We did therapy, read lots of different literature, cognitive work, to psychology, and then our spiritual practice. There's like a whole thing, and we keep on evolving. And one of the beauties about what we have picked up and learned is how to communicate. That's
yeah.
been a big thing. It's been amazing for me because I didn't have any skills in communicating with, generally, just how to express myself, how to feel safe to express myself, and how to do it in a way of that it's like I'm staying true to myself. And you and I have took the same program, and we've applied it to our relationships, period, our friendships, our the people that are closest to us, our work environment. And it, yeah, there's always challenges, always, there's always going to be, but now I think you and I can step into it a little bit more securely. And then because we are aware of our dynamics, of course, as a friendship, but the difference is we do apply those principles that we have learned, which has just been so helpful. And we're kind, love and kindness to each other, but at the same time, like hold each other accountable.
Mhm.
Which is in a nice, loving way, like not sugarcoating. Oh, yeah, no, don't worry about it. It's okay. No, no. Look, I can see the side of that might get carried away with you, Monica. Um, it's like things come up. Our sides that sometimes we fall back into our old ways temporarily. They're not bad, they're actually great in a way because they just show us when we're feeling a little bit more vulnerable and we don't know how to navigate it. And sometimes we do need someone close to us to just say, just seeing this happening to you, right, Tara?
Right, yeah, and so I'm curious, so I don't know if anybody's watching, like who is watching, to like how do you hold yourself accountable? Do you have a friend? Do you have an app? Even if you're watching this later, we'd love to find out, like, how do you hold yourself accountable? Do you have a friend that you check in with, is a loved one? Or like I was saying, like an app on your phone. So it helps us. It's not to monitor us, it is to help you be consistent. So when we're learning a new language, we need to use the language every day so that we don't lose it. Well, I'm fortunate enough that I live in Quebec in Canada, so I speak French. But I found that at one point when I moved away from Canada, I didn't speak French and I lost a lot of it because I didn't practice it every day. And it's the same thing what we're talking about now is when we bring in self-awareness. This self-awareness is something you need to bring in every day and show up for it every day, or else it can be forgotten and it falls by the wayside. So one of the things that we do is the I Ching, and that helps us bring us awareness of like, okay, how are we going to show up this week? What do we need to be aware of?
Yes, and the I Ching. So there's wisdom. There's like a few thousand years of wisdom in the scriptures, right? So all scriptures that you read have wisdom, and you reflect on it. So there's that part. And so when you pull any cards, or when we discuss it, we always kind of read up like what they're discussing about. We do like reflection. So I'll do a reflection on it, and then I'll kind of feel out also, like, so if we're pulling collectively, and generally it's quite interesting because the week goes by and we go, oh, that's kind of cool. It sort of resonates, with the what the week is like. And it's just, it doing this is just helping you, like you said, Tara, bringing things to awareness, and having being more open minded, instead of like, oh no, this is like how it is and it's not going to change, and that's fine. You can look at life like that too. Or this is the sense of what's possible. And yeah, when we discussed, so what was this week's cards that we pulled? I
It
didn't.
was it was to go back to your heart. So it was remembering your heart's journey.
Right.
So it was remembering your heart's journey, and because we found so like Monica was saying, is that she pulls her cards at home and I pull my cards, and then we discuss how, and majority of the time, that even though the cards are different, there is a common theme, and that's how we find the common theme to what we plan for the week. But it was like remembering how, and I was trying to remember it, we can get so caught up in our thoughts of way we want to go, the way we want to project of how it should go, like, and it's going to be this and it's going to be that, that we forget to listen to our heart and our body will tell us exactly how it's feeling. But sometimes, like, our body can be tired, and we say, "No, we just have to do one more thing, and we just have to do this," and we don't listen, and then, obviously, either we can get sick, like a cold or a sore throat, or, you know, our body will tell give us signs to when we're not listening to it. And so, it was like remembering your heart, this your journey to your with your heart is because we tend to I do it very often, is that I will overpower my emotions by logically thinking them through. And it's like, no, I need to sit and listen to my heart and feel it. And as uncomfortable that may be sometimes, I still need to feel it and open my heart.
Yeah, and we were discussing about how things happen, move so fast, and we get into the head, and that causes, like we're talking about, anxiety or deeper feelings, depression or sadness or something that we think we don't have control over, and we try to distract ourselves. And so when we come into the heart space, so you had shown an example in your other live video, but when you're coming into heart space, what it allows you is, I call it the pause in between. And you just take a moment and in yourself acknowledge how you're feeling. Just acknowledge it, that yes, I do feel anxious or agitated or irritable, or I'm super excited. I don't even like it, not just bad stuff, good stuff too. You know the more we align with ourselves, the more in the higher vibration that we go to. But we can only do that when we take a moment to pause and center ourselves. And then that's, again, paying attention to your breath, and noticing the breath, and then breathing in through the nose and exhaling out, and just being grateful for just being here right now. This is like just a mini grounding practice that you can do. Once you get connect to that heart center, what it does is it helps us to let other things slide off of you, and the goal is to come back to the love of you, to come back to the journey, remembering who you are. But we cannot remember who we are if we are caught up in everything else. So
Good.
that, right? So this journey for this week, coming to the heart center, is a continuing practice all the time. But the more that we practice this, because we can get so lost and pulled in this day and age. And the we have to use the things that we have, right? Technology. There's all these things that we need to. They're incorporated. Unless we live in the woods by ourselves and hunt for our stuff, and not too many people do that. There's still people who do that, um, but there's still. I work with technology. You work with technology, and we have figured out ways to, during the day, to find our moments to solidify, and definitely starting off at the beginning of the day, to practice, do these mini practices, like starting off the day and finishing the day with gratitude. um it cannot be said enough. It makes a huge difference. And like, I can just say that when I do that, when I consistently do it. I was giving the example, I don't know if I was talking to you about it or yesterday, but I purposely do. I will leave my phone at home
Yeah,
if
you were
I
mentioning it online
right?
yesterday.
I was
Yeah.
mentioning it. Yeah, I couldn't remember. And so I purposely leave my phone periodically during the day at home, unless there's a reason I need. But I like to do it because no matter what, that phone, something happens, I pick it up. So, and I there's just different times I'll just take that moment, like it's been raining, but then again, when it stops raining, I love walking outside just after the rain because it smells so good, and the air smells differently, and then I taste the flowers are starting to blossom on the trees, and it's just stuff like that that this is, oh my goodness, I
I
love
collected some
this.
lilacs on my walk today, so made a vase of them, so it was beautiful, beautiful. It was just my way of, like, just, like, savoring the moment.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, so just, there's so much to say about any kind of um I don't, practice, I go by a spiritual practice, and spiritual practice really just means connecting to the divine, the universe, something that you tap into. There's like a source. And what that does is there's two elements to it. It's like part of you, you start to learn to tap into yourself. So this whole grounding practice that we just talked about. Then you open up and there's something much more bigger than this, right? Because we're just this is our shell, we're just borrowing this shell for now. And but we're always have spirit within us and around us. And what's incredible, and Tara, I think you could just elaborate a little bit more on that, is how you tap into it when you're doing your Reiki work. I mean, that's a
So
big
when
thing.
Yeah, so the best way I can describe it as a visualization is like having the big shower head above my head, and all like the huge shower head, and it's just rays of light coming from above, and it just showers all over me. And when I allow it to go through me, when I'm doing my Reiki work, I need to allow the energy to flow through me, because it's not for me to take in, it's not for me to take. When I'm helping other people, it's not for me to absorb their energy, it's to allow the energy to flow through. And then when I'm allowing that flow, that's when I can receive guidance from my guides and the divine. And, it's all in, there's no ego involved. So when I'm doing my Reiki, it's whatever is for best for the person that I'm working with. And I always ask my guides to work with the person's guides so that they can come up with the best thing for that person. And the best way I can describe that it's like a garden. You can weed your garden, but if you weed out everything, if you take out the worms and everything else just to have perfect earth, then you're taking out some of the nutrients that that garden needs to grow. The worms are there to provide holes and air and to allow growth. Some of the weeds are there to support the other things. So if you're pulling out things and you're not sure what you're pulling out, you may be doing more harm than good. So when I listen to my guides as to what is needed for best for the person, and then when I also do Reiki for myself, I have to trust and have patience with that as well. There's times where I don't understand what's going on, but I have to trust that the universe has my best interest. And there's times where I can say I trust in the universe, and I hear a lot of people say it, but actually trusting and allowing that process to happen can be very difficult because we want it now. There's that button on, that we press something and it arrives at our doorstep the next day. It's everything is instant. Everything is instant. And the universe doesn't provide instant. It takes its own time and it's got its own timing. So that's when I do my Reiki, it allows me to come into my present moment and just know that everything will happen in its own timing. And I had an interesting conversation with somebody, and I think you'll agree, Monica, is that there are no mistakes. So, when my perfectionism comes up and I wanting to do this perfectly, even this live, and I messed it up at the
Yeah.
beginning, right? So
Mm.
I wanted to do it perfect, and it was far from it. I got my name wrong. But, there are no mistakes. This is just the way it's supposed to be. And it's all learning curve. Mistakes are just ways to know where you need to improve. And maybe just shining a light of where maybe some insecurities are, or maybe it's just to show that you're normal and not
Or
normal, but just
we're
that we're not perfect.
Yeah, and just we're it's teaching us how to evolve and grow and shift and change. And I think the more comfortable we get with that, the more we're like, okay, cool, like yeah, this was kind of funny, and you just kind of laugh about it too, and I think that we've been doing that. I wanted to mention, there's just so many ways to connect to yourself, and I've been in, for me, my experience, and when I started practicing yoga, which is like 30 some years ago, was that I was so disconnected from who I really was. I had really lost my connection to self, my soul, like listening to everything, and that when I started the journey of practicing yoga and then eventually teaching yoga, I was it was just constantly showing me how to to communicate, even like the most frustrating times. Like, one of the things that even of lately, I would say, even like every year just evolves because our body changes, everything changes. And just when you think, oh, I'm really good at this, or I love this practice that I'm doing, then things change in your life, things happen, and your body changes, and your situation changes in the outside of your life, and then your body reacts, and all of those things. And what it has done for me is that it has allowed me to, yeah, I will be like have a tantrum, a child tantrum or frustration, but I it has taught me to teach, to learn, like to listen. And so you were saying how, ego to get it's not your ego. And one of the most beautiful things when we're practicing yoga, or what I experience with a group, is that we're at the beginning, we're all in our head. So this is how we started this conversation, right? We're all in our head. And then all of a sudden, yes, at the beginning, everything's in the head. So then, but don't worry about it. Let it be, you know, just breathe through it, move through it. And then there's this incredible dynamic that happens. And this is when you get into the meditative state. And what happens is everything connects. Just everything moves, like your mindset, your body, the flow. If you can use that example in anything that you like to do, in your life, if you like to dance, if you're in sports, or even when you're walking or whatever, there's this moment, if you can catch yourself when everything is sinking in, you just notice it, you're so present, you're just so present, you're feeling, you're in the moment. And that is being in your heart center. That's when you catch yourself, and if you catch yourself more into connecting with that, and I think this week, coming into June, we're igniting this incredible energy. The rest of May and June is going to be huge on that. It's going to be really big, incredible, rich energy. That if you can tap into your heart center, um, yeah, don't ignore it.
Don't ignore it. So, and also, it's a good time to remember is that next Sunday we are doing our Reiki and yoga. So, that would be an excellent time if you'd like to join us. Send us a message. It is a live event in Montreal. So, if you are in Montreal and you're interested, you can send us a message. And so, I think your name is below, but it's Monica Merlot. Is
Yeah.
it your
So
YouTube channel, Monica Merlot?
yeah, so it's Monica Merlot, and it's live your best, how to live your best life, live your best life. And so your channel, Tara, is a lot about the Reiki work you do, and also like the combined stuff that we do together. And then I go in more into spiritual practice and meditation, and I'll be going more into offering meditative mindfulness practices. There's going to be a series that I'll be talking about coming up as well. But if you are in the Montreal area, please come and see us. It's been an evolution too, right? Our class. And basically, the yin practice is slowing yourself down, allowing everything to open up into the body and feeling what needs to be felt. And then, Tara, you come in and you give that warmth of energy of channel to help expand and open and release as well, which is
And at
just
the
so
end, I
beautiful.
give a tarot reading, a little mini tarot reading. So, and I also will be talking about that on my channel as well. So,
Yeah. Well,
so
congratulations to us. I
we
can't
finally did
believe
it.
it. We finally got our final live. That is so exciting. We have to celebrate. We got to celebrate
We
us.
do.
And because um it's not, I say us, and I say us like collectively because really, like, we're just all about, I mean, I love and light type. I get really like gushy about the whole thing because I just believe that we need to rise our vibration, especially in this day and age. Keep that vibration going up and up, and just let's focus on that and shine above the darkness.
Okay. Well, I think we'll leave it at that. Have yourself a great day, everyone. And well, we'll see you soon.
Bye. A nice one.